Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to see about the origin of one of the famous kings of the ancient Bharat called Bharatha. From King Puru down to few generations came Vishwamitra, who was also known as Kaushika. It was told that King Kaushika once had a clash with sage Vashishta and got defeated by Vashishta's great spiritual and mystical powers. Realizing the power of sage Vashishta, King Kaushika also wanted to become a powerful sage and decided to undertake austere penance. Acquiring many powers through his penance, King Kaushika was then come to be known as Sage Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra's austere penance and the rapid climb into the spiritual realm, where he was even trying to create a new heaven, Lord Indra got worried. So, Lord Indra, the king of Devas, sent Menaka, who was an Apsara, to destroy Vishwamitra's tapas. Though Menaka successfully distracted Vishwamitra's penance, she genuinely fell in love with Vishwamitra and gave birth to a baby girl. When Vishwamitra understood how Indra had tricked him, he flew into a rage. However, he loved Menaka deeply and also knew the true extent of her feelings for him. So, Vishwamitra told Menaka that she would be separated from him forever and left her and her baby. Menaka too abandoned the baby girl in the forest and went back to the Devaloka. The shakun birds in the forest were protecting the baby from other wild animals. Sage Kanva, who came that way in the forest, saw this strange scene of the shakun birds protecting a baby girl, took the baby to his ashram and named her after the shakun birds as Shakuntala. Years passed by and Shakuntala grew up into a fine young woman. One day, King Dushyanta came into the forest for hunting and shot a large male stag. The stag got wounded but kept running and King Dushyanta was chasing it. He then found the wounded stag was being nursed by Shakuntala, and on seeing her beauty, the king fell in love with her. With Sage Kanva's permission, Dushyanta married Shakuntala and stayed with her in the forest. But then he had to go back to his palace to govern the kingdom. He promised Shakuntala that he will come back for her and left to his palace. And before leaving, he put on his ring onto Shakuntala's finger as a mark of their marriage. After Dushyanta left, Shakuntala was constantly dreaming of being an empress for the kingdom of Dushyanta. One day, when Sage Durvasa came to Sage Kanva's ashram, and on looking at Shakuntala, Sage Durvasa wished her. But Shakuntala was in a dream mode and ignored Durvasa. Durvasa became furious and cursed her, citing that whomever she thinks of and holds her attention right now will forget Shakuntala. But then Shakuntala came to her senses and cried to Sage Durvasa, explaining her situation where she was dreaming about her husband King Dushyanta and requested the sage to take back her curse. Sage Durvasa calmed and corrected his curse, citing that the moment King Dushyanta was shown something that was given by him to Shakuntala, he will recall everything about her. Months passed by. Shakuntala was waiting, but the king never came. Meanwhile, Shakuntala gave birth to a child who was named as Bharatha. One day, Sage Kanva told Shakuntala to go to the king and remind him of her and his son. So, taking this young boy, Shakuntala started a journey towards the palace. Along the way, they happened to cross a river, and while crossing the river in a boat, she put her hand out to feel the water, and the ring given to her by the king got dropped into the water but she didn't realize this. Crossing the river, both Shakuntala and the child reached Dushyanta's court, and Shakuntala claimed that she was his wife and Bharata is their son. Dushyanta became furious as he could not recollect anything about Shakuntala due to sage Durvasa's curse. And to a shock, Shakuntala could not find the ring in her finger. Shakuntala has to go back to the forest, and Bharata started growing up in the wilderness of the forest. Later in the time, a fisherman was surprised to find a royal ring in the belly of a fish he had caught. Recognizing the royal seal, he took the ring to the palace, and upon seeing his ring, Dushyanta's memories of his lovely wife Shakuntala came rushing back to him. He immediately set out to find her, and arriving at sage Kanva's ashram, discovered that she was no longer there. He continued deeper into the forest to find his wife and came upon a surprising scene in the forest. He found a full-grown boy playing with the wild animals in the forest. The king asked the boy, "Who are you?" And the boy replied, "I am Bharatha, son of King Dushyanta." The boy took him to his mother Shakuntala and they all reunited. Later, Shakuntala and Bharata accompanied Dushyanta to their palace. Time passed on. Bharata succeeded Dushyanta as the emperor, got married and had many children. But looking at his own sons, felt that they cannot make good kings for his citizenry. There are multiple stories upon the successor of King Bharata. According to one of the story, Bhumanyu was made the successor of King Bharata, who was not his biological son. As per another story, the Maruta gods adopted an infant who was abandoned by Udatya's wife Mamata and named the infant as Bharatwaja. The Maruta gods then gave Bharatwaja to Bharata, who was also known as Vidata, who later became the king and the successor of Bharata. There are interesting stories all along. We will pick them in the upcoming videos.